a lot of you did send me your assignments, which is great. And what you guys sent to me were very practical examples of note taking. I could tell from the agendas that you sent out and then the notes that you sent me that, okay, the meeting was a good meeting. This happened, this happened. I could follow the fact that the items on the agenda were covered in the notes. And I even saw some more things in the notes that weren't on the agenda. That's the way it should happen. So I could see the progression. And if you guys met again, then that means that y'all would have a set of agenda, an agenda, and it would create note. And then y'all are going to meet again. Let's say this is a recurring meeting. Well, then your next agenda should be a reflection of what you discussed in the notes. And then you have the meeting, then you send notes. All right, good. Now we're going to meet again in a week or 2 weeks. Well, the next agenda should reflect back what you guys discussed, and that's how you make sure that meetings don't fall apart, that projects don't fall apart. Please don't miss what I'm saying right here. This is critically important. The reason why projects get delayed, why projects fall apart, why we can't seem to huddle, folks, herd the cats in, is because when we're working on a project or we're meeting with folks, we don't keep the consistency of agendas become notes. Those notes become the agenda for the next meeting. And in that agenda, we're asking, hey, where are we with the things that we discussed? Then that conversation creates note. And then these notes create the next agenda. It's a continuous cycle from notes to agenda, from agenda to note, from notes to agenda, from agenda to notes, and you keep it going. And that way everyone knows that you're going to hold them accountable, that you're going to hold each other accountable to follow up and communicate what it was that we said we're going to do. And that's where everything falls apart. The essence of teamwork is the ability to have confidence with each other that what we said at one point, we're going to follow through and we're going to do it without having to be on each other all the time. And we're not going to forget about it. That's why the rhythm of the meeting is so important. So you can say, all right, where are we with? You said you were going to do this. Where are we with that? Boom, have a discussion.
It's good when you have something to read, because some people are good at reading and remember things when they read it. Some people are good when they hear things, like when you're talking in the meeting about the notes and everything, they can remember things. So it gives different opportunities of different ways that people can remember things. And even when they see things more than once, they remember it, so because sometimes you don't know if their mind is somewhere else thinking about something else when you're reviewing something, but when you're reviewing it 2 and 3 times, they're more prone to remembering it.
Right, absolutely. But it's what the human brain does. The personalities of human beings tend to distract us from paying attention. And there's nothing as effective in a meeting than to have an organized approach that allows everyone to know, okay, where are we? All right, I can see it. I see the agenda. Preferably if you printed something out, I can touch, I'm writing notes down. And then as the facilitator, you have to realize people are tuning out in a 30-minute conversation. So you don't become an elementary school teacher. You just simply say, all right, so good. So Gerald, any thoughts on that, on what we just covered? And see, right there, Gerald is going to go, okay, I'm sorry, guys. I tuned away. Yeah, okay, so it's all right. It's all right. So Gerald, what Anthony said, do you think that you need to be in that meeting? You see what I'm saying? I'm bringing Gerald into it because it's organized. Now, the minute I call on Gerald and Gerald realizes, oh, I wasn't paying attention, what are the chances that LaShawn is going to now pay more attention?
I'm trying to listen, but I have somebody blowing at my window.
You see, I mean, you're getting distracted. See, it's all distraction. See,
right.
I
and
hear
he's
you.
just like right here at my window. It's like, go away.
Well, I'm kind of glad this is happening.
Can you hear it?
This is like a typical meeting. See, now Brittany knows I'm probably about to call her. I'm about to call on her because I just call on Gerald, then Sean, and Jeremy's going, man, he always calls on me, man. Don't call on me. So a good facilitator has an agenda. We're all looking at it, and I'm going to engage the participants. Okay. And I let everyone know at the beginning of my relationship with y'all that this is the way I run meetings. I run meetings in a very interactive way. We go down the agenda, and I'm going to call for interaction. And you don't allow one topic to become me and Gerald, me and Gerald, me and Gerald, me and Gerald for 4 minutes. Why? Because Brittany's going to get bored. I have nothing to say about that. I have nothing to do with this. I'm going to check out. And so you have to realize that you have 40 minutes for a meeting. You got 17 items on the agenda. You got to move through it. You got to keep the conversation going. But I love your observation regarding about how organized it is.
It just brings, to me, it brings focus back to the important task, to the things that are just that, that we need to stay on track with and cover and get and be productive with it. And of course, the interactive discussion allowing the feedback and taking time to listen to them helps.
Good.
I think it's great, Maurice, because before I hopped on the meeting, I was looking at meeting notes for a meeting that I have probably 2 hours after this one. And so it was one of those things where I kind of forgot some of the stuff that we were actually supposed to tackle. And I was like, aha, that is one
There
of those
you go,
things we're
man.
supposed to work on.
Jeremy, say that again, man. That is so important. Say it again.
Yeah, it was an aha. Like those are some of the things that we're supposed to be working on and tackling together. So it's been great.
So is it okay to forget about what you said? Is it okay for you to forget what you said at a meeting that you were going to do for the following meeting? Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yes, I want everybody. I want everybody to be able to forget about what was said at the meeting. Why? Of course, I don't want you to forget about what was said. But what I want you to do is be able to have the confidence. At that meeting, Brittany was taking notes, and Brittany's going to get us the notes. And I got to go to another meeting. I got to focus on that, get back to my desk, go look. Oh, there it is. Brittany sent us the notes. Wonderful. Open it up and go, okay, yeah, I did say that. Okay, yeah, I did say that. Okay. So having a note, the notes that you can remind yourself is probably one of the most freeing things to do, because I cannot keep up with all that. We cannot keep up with all that. So if you go to meetings, let's say you go to 4 meetings and those notes aren't coming in from the note taker, that's where things are falling apart. So what Maurice doesn't go, y'all, I go from meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting to meeting, and I made sure someone's taking me notes, or I'm taking notes. Those notes come into my inbox, or I know the shared document link to where I can go get the notes. And that's what keeps me governed. If I can train my team and I can train the different departments and the different project team members to be that disciplined. Here's where you find the notes, here's where you find the agendas, then there's no excuse, okay? And people can go about and think and create of other things they need to do throughout the day, but they know they need to go, they know where to go get the notes, or they know the notes are gonna come back and I can capture them and then remind myself so that I can follow through.
I think it's really good because I can be a person that's all over the place, and I need to have that, where I know the things that we're discussing and get their feedback and then put it all together.
All right, so something I want to make a comment of and see if you guys observed it. In these last 7 or 8 minutes, I normally have asked y'all a question, and then have y'all noticed the pauses or the silences that occurred as I'm asking questions? Give me your thoughts on that. See, like that right there. I asked a question and there's pauses, there's silence, okay? That's happened 3 or 4 times in this meeting. How do y'all feel about that? And first of all, how does that make you feel whenever I ask a question and ready, there's this?
It's like everybody's trying to think, okay, what's the best answer I can give? You kind of review the question again in your mind before answering. Maybe
Okay, very good, Anthony. Very good, Anthony. There's another side to that, because that's the more introverted approach. The introverted approach is saying, "Ooh, I'm trying to answer," correct?
Right.
All right. What's the extrovert thinking? Is the extrovert thinking, "Oh, everyone's trying to think and trying to think of what to say"? That's not what the extrovert's thinking. The extrovert is thinking what? Everyone's trying to think, or is everyone not wanting to say anything? What's the matter with these people? Why are they talking? Okay, so silence is agreement. So we're gonna, okay, guys, let's move on. Okay, so I guess no one's gonna participate. Yes or no? Isn't that how extroverts usually treat silence?
Yes.
Okay, that has to stop. In order for you to be a good facilitator, as an extrovert or introvert, you have to ask a question and be willing to create 8 to 15 seconds of silence and make no judgment commentary as to why people are taking long to answer. If you don't learn that skill as a facilitator, you are going to shut the introverts down. You're going to make comments to judge people's use of silence, and you're going to make it difficult for people to interact with you. Why? Because I was thinking, I was using 5-6 seconds to think about how I was going to jump in. And here you go. You hit us with a judgment. You hit us with a commentary about saying, okay, it's not safe here. And then introverts going to retract. And a lot of extroverts, they jump in just to fill in that gap. And then it just becomes a conversation between extroverts. Give me your thoughts on what I just said, and watch. I'm going to create moments of silence until somebody speaks up. Ready? Give me your thoughts. Okay, good. See, now I'm going to call on somebody. Brittany, give me your thoughts. See, now LaShawn is going, okay, I better talk soon because he's going to call somebody. Brittany, give me your thoughts on what I just said.
I think sometimes in cases like that, people are sometimes afraid of saying the wrong thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so they're afraid of how others will look at them.
Yes, and we'll talk a little bit more about that on the back end as to how not to shoot folks down when they talk. But first, we got to get them to talk.
Right.
So as a facilitator, you have to explain to everybody, guys, I'm going to give moments of silence. And then if I hear too much silence, don't worry about it. I'm going to call on you guys. All right. And when I call on you guys all realize that I'm going to call on you next because I want you all to jump in. But I'm fine with about 5 to 9 seconds of silence. Once we get past 10 seconds, I'm going to start calling folks. Is that okay? LaShawn, what do you think? Is that okay with you?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the way it is.
That's the way it is. Jeremy, I haven't heard you in a while. What do you think about what I just said?
Oh yeah, I agree. I
Okay.
think one of the things is
Gerald, I'm going to call on you next. Go ahead. Sorry, Gerald, I'm going to call on you next. Go ahead, Jeremy, keep going.
No, I was gonna say I know sometimes my pause is I don't want to always answer, so try to give others the opportunity to answer.
Well, I appreciate that. So let's do this. Once we get to about 8, 9 seconds of silence and no one's jumping in, jump in. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, Gerald, give me your thoughts.
I was just going to say it almost, after hearing it a few times, creates a sense of maybe not urgency, but expectancy to speak up.
A facilitator has to be one that facilitates conversation. So you let everyone know this is how we're going to run the meeting. We're going to create conversation. And I'm not going to let the extroverts be the only ones talking in the room. I got to create a conversation. All right. Hey, everybody. Great job making it through this. Go to the next module. Let's get moving to the next levels. Good luck. And again, thank you for joining the program. Honored to help you.